Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Wizards Outlook. Joined as always, we got Cardell Dudley Jr., got Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpeh Jr., and the Washington Wizards. After solid win over Miami on Wednesday, Cardell hit me during the game and said, off days, South Beach undefeated. And Washington looked like they went through it a little bit in this one, but the Heat routed the Wizards 122-95. They dominated them for three quarters. The Wizards did play well in the fourth, at least defensively, for the first time all game, but by then it was far too late. Some of the shots we saw, the job Washington did running Miami off the line on Wednesday was almost non-existent for three quarters of this one. And, if you're not familiar with Miami, they got more than a few folks that can knock down threes. Once the Iguodalas of the world start knocking down threes, pretty much in for a really long night. Cardell, we'll start with you, and then Ray, just your initial thoughts on it.
They played Miami Heat basketball, and the Wizards couldn't handle it. You could tell they were pissed from the other night. Felt like they let one get away. Coach Spo made some key adjustments. He started going Dragic, and Kendrick Nunn, who hadn't played in the last three games coming into this one, he put him high in the rotation, and they went to work. In threes, they couldn't do none with none. I mean, he had 25 points and 8 rebounds off the bench on 11 to 17 shooting. You could tell he's trying to get back on whatever happened. He's trying to get on Spo's good side again so he can continue to play. And obviously, when your star player goes 0 for 12 in the first half, it's just that's a bleeding that, you can't. They're trying to put a Band-Aid on. That don't need stitches, and they don't have nobody to do it. You know what I mean? So, and I think it's known by now that with this team, they need Bill to do what he does to open things up for them. Otherwise, the defense is going to start focusing on them, and those guys don't have the skill set, or some don't have the talent to really make plays like that consistently. So that's what happened. I felt like Bam just dominated inside. I know Alex Len came in, late, did some damage, but overall, Bam just had his way. Grabbing boards, bullying them inside for second chance points, scoring inside. Tyler Herro, he didn't shoot well last game, but he blitzed them tonight. 6 for 15, 3 for 7. The game was over at halftime. It ain't really much to harp on. I think the only bright spot was Alex Len, to be honest. So, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's it's nothing too complicated here. They got torched, and like how they said, I think Miami was they was on get back, and they got it. But yeah, man, this thing ran off the rails early. I think Bam he shot 12 free throws in the first quarter, so they was just giving him the ball and letting him go to work. That. I was hopeful for about 6 minutes, but then when Washington offense started sputtering, and then the Heat started picking up, it got out of hand rather quickly. Of course, Bradley Beal's slow start. That's a recipe for disaster for Washington because he's playing at the level he's been playing at, and they still haven't been winning games. This is what it looks like when he has a night like this. It just their offense pretty much starts and ends with him. So if he struggles and goes 1 for 14, then you're going to get this type of result because nobody else is going to be able to pick up that slack, and that's just the reality of it. Westbrook tried to give him some energy. E. Smith tried to come off the bench and give him the spark, but Miami was just locked in on both ends. Yeah, man, it's not too much to talk about tonight. This was bad. Still waiting for him to put 2 good games together in a row. Hopefully that day comes soon, but it ain't today.
Yeah, there's not too much more to add. With the bench playing so many minutes in the second half, because like you guys said, the game was pretty much over halftime. The bench did outscore Miami's bench 55-53. But, Miami's bench outscored Washington's bench 55-53. But again, Miami's bench had 55 points. While Washington's bench had 53, Miami's bench had 55 points. Cardell, you mentioned, Ray already mentioned, None. One of the differences, I don't think Dragic started on Wednesday either. I think Dragic came off the bench on Wednesday. He started tonight. They got more of their normal point guard rotation. And, Cardell's told you guys on many occasions. And again, it's something that's going to be etched in my brain forever. Goran Dragic's one of them dudes where it doesn't look like it, then you find out later on you're in trouble. And when he gets rolling early, we saw last year during their run in the bubble, they didn't look the same after he got banged up again. When he re-injured his leg, they didn't look the same. Prior to him injuring that leg, Miami looked a little different. He was doing what he wanted, when he wanted, to whoever he wanted. And it was a different type of feel. Hero gets to play off ball a little bit more of a natural fit for him. He's not there yet to be someone's point guard, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then the other thing, it just felt like you guys mentioned, Miami was far more aggressive. He got their attention. They weren't about to drop 2 games, to a division opponent. And, all the things that we talk about, the turnovers, live ball turnovers against a team like Miami that's running. Once you get them in transition, it's a whole lot to deal with. And, I know they got a day off and then they take on Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte's not Miami, but that's a young team that likes to run. It's going to get up and down. Washington's going to take care of the ball in that game just to look ahead a little bit. You guys have anything else you want to add in terms of just a quick look ahead at Charlotte or any finishing touches on this one?
Yeah, I have a couple more things. Well, at this point, the Wizards shouldn't be overlooking anybody. If they're overlooking people like they're better than them, then yeah, we just cancel the season because their mind not in the right spot. You're one of the worst teams. The Hornets trying to grow up on the fly. You shouldn't be overlooking anybody, but just an example. And I'm not picking on him, but Bertans, he actually shot good, 2 for 3, 2 for 2, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. But when you can't defend anybody, it's hard to keep you out there. And this is what I'm seeing a lot with a lot of players and their development from high school on up. It's a lot of emphasis on the offensive side, and it's rarely anything addressed defensively. And let's face it, most people don't know the first thing about how to work on defense, but that is a skill. And if the Wizards play defense, they could have held the Heat down until they got their offense going. That's why you play that end. And what most people don't understand, defense is the one area of the game where you can consistently bring it every night, and they can be consistent. Even if you're a world-class shooter, you're going to have nights that you just can't hit shots. Defense can swarm you. Your passes can be off. You can turn the ball over. You always going to battle for rebounds. It's always going to be 50-50, throughout the game. But defense, that's that you can always consistently make an impact. And when you're non-existent in that area, I don't care how great of an offensive player you are, it's going to be tough for you, because eventually you will be off. And then you're useless. You can't help me. So I just want people to kind of focus on that. But one other thing that has something to do with the entire league, I wanted your thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on the NBA trying to hold an All-Star weekend, All-Star game? Go ahead, Ryan. Let's start with you.
Yes, it's unnecessary, man. I don't see the point. At the outset of the season, they said there wouldn't be one. It's unnecessary risk at this point. All-Star Weekend is typically for it's a fan event, and they're not even gonna have fans. So I really don't see the point. I'm amazed that that the league and the Players Association actually came to agreement to have one, because everything since they announced it from players has been in opposition. So I'm not able to connect those dots. But it's just my opinion, and as far as the players go, they do have the opportunity to opt out if they don't want to participate. So I don't think it really needs to be a huge discussion. If you don't want to play, opt out and go on about your business. But yeah, if it were up to me, I wouldn't have it. Obviously I don't make those decisions, so more power to them. But yeah, I don't think it's I just don't think it's worth it at this point, man. They're having enough trouble trying to navigate this whole COVID thing as it is. So now you're gonna you're gonna basically put a petri dish down here in Atlanta for some makeshift all-star event. Yeah, man, I just don't think it's worth it at this point.
Yeah, I echo Ray. It doesn't make any sense right now. However, why it doesn't make any sense, it's weird watching players be like, speaking out against it when I'm pretty sure y'all have some type of idea or say between your player rep and Chris Paul or what have you. Something was agreed upon somewhere. I don't believe that none of y'all had any idea about it. Like this was some shock. But again, no, the game shouldn't be played.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. Like I said, it's really no benefit outside of guys that, in their contract, you do make an all-star game, you do get a nice little bonus with the money you make. So that could have been it. That could have been a motivation. But my thing is, all right, if they get voted in, you don't necessarily have to play, but just honor them, talk about the players that were selected, and then still, do them a solid and then give them the money that they earn because they play in the first half of the season. You know what I mean? Because as you just seen with the situation with Kevin Durant, tonight, they're in the line of fire. It is what it is. They're in the line of fire. They hooping. He was around somebody that said that testing said he was positive. After they said he wasn't, then they pulled him. They said he couldn't play. Then he could play. Then they pulled him from the game because whoever he was around tested positive. It's just a headache, just hearing Brooks and all the players talk about, man, you flying into the new city 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. By the time you get to bed, it's 5:30 a.m. You got to be right back up at 8 o'clock to get tested. You got to do that every day. You got to get tested twice. You know what I'm saying? You got to get tested at 8. You got to get tested a few hours before you head to the arena, right before you get the game. So they can make sure you're negative so you can play. With that alone, it's a headache. So for them to just get a kind of a week off to be with their family, just away from that, I can be free. You know what I'm saying? Just breathe. I think it help matters, man. You know what I'm saying? Because in a way, they're not in the bubble, but they're living like they're in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So honor them, do them a solid this year with that. It is what it is. This is just crazy times. We all about to go crazy. We all can't do basic stuff that we enjoy doing just to escape. Like I keep saying, I can't even go to a damn movie. Like we can't even just do normal stuff. I just be glad when it's over. I'm gonna burn all my masks, and I don't want to see a mask ever again. I'm not watching no movie with masks. I don't want to see Master Shredder. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see superheroes with masks. I'm just tired of masks. I'm at that point. No Marvel movies, none of that. So, but yeah, do them a solid so they can get the money that they earn in their contract. And the owners may not like that, but who cares? They're doing what they can, work with them, and just come out, just do the smart thing. That's my thing.
Yep, I think we're all in agreement there. If you guys didn't have anything else to add, because we know we're gonna see you guys Sunday afternoon after the Wizards game, a couple hours before the Super Bowl begins. So hope you guys enjoy your Saturday. Don't forget, follow the Focus TV on all your social mediums. Next week we're kicking something off with the G League, so be on the lookout for that. We're gonna have that coming up for y'all. So it's some exciting times. Again, it's a great time to follow because probably gonna be going live on here just a whole lot sporadically. You guys might want to, just might want to follow along. Might be a good thing, especially with how the pandemic's affecting the leagues and players and things of that nature. Some of those folks, this might be a year where if you didn't pay attention to the G League before, this might be a time when you might want to, with people getting called up, things of that nature going in the next season. Because I'll be honest, like if you were in charge of a professional team, would you rather take the shot on some of what's going on in college where some teams have played 7 games, some teams have played 25 games, or, the G League thing where it's a little bit more controlled, it's a little bit more structured, it's at least pro coaching, it's a level up or a level closer rather. So you might want to go ahead and get over your little G League. Some of you guys are a little too bougie to watch the G League. You might want to familiarize yourself with it. Again, the great equalizer.
We're calling them basketball minds. But they'll be up here talking about their geniuses and basketball minds, but they won't look at. And the G League is full of those college All-Americans that y'all used to watch all the time.
Yeah.
High school All-Americans.
That's a new penalty.
Y'all saying going to the league.
That's when your guys that you guys followed, and then after they hit campus, then we didn't hear from them for a little bit. Yeah, they're there. They're there if you want to catch up with them. But again, we got the exciting thing like Cardell's mentioned several times, even on Tuesday's show with the G League Ignite team. That's going to be fun. Again, guys, tune in next week. Got a lot going on. And we appreciate you guys hanging with us. Y'all have a great night.